So I just got back from seeing Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire, the fifth movie in Legendary's Monsterverse. And if you guys probably know, I love Godzilla films. And, I love the Showa era, the Heisei monster, era, the Millennium. I mean, it's just, I enjoy it all. Like, there's literally not like a Godzilla movie, with the exception of the 98 Godzilla movie, that I don't like. In other words, like, I even find enjoyment out of Godzilla's Revenge and Godzilla versus Megalon, and like, I get a kick out of those movies just as much as like the original 1954 is a good, serious movie. Same thing with Return of Godzilla in 1984, or as we knew it in America, Godzilla 1985, or Godzilla Minus One, which recently came out. And I think that a lot of people are going to go and watch this movie after having seen Godzilla Minus One and go in expecting Godzilla Minus One. And I think that's going to be an unfortunate thing with this movie, because the whole reason behind this movie is it's a sequel to the last one, Godzilla Vs Kong. And now, if you've seen the trailers, you probably already know that there is a team-up that happens. And the team-up is something that a lot of fans have been waiting for a long time, to see two monsters who really don't care for each other team up and go and face off against a bigger threat. Now, with this movie, and pretty much with all of the Monsterverse movies, the humans are really there to service the plot. And this movie does focus a lot on Kong. It's about him in Hollow Earth, about him trying to find his place, trying to find, others like him, because he doesn't like being alone. And there's a lot to it with that. And apparently this movie was just going to have Kong. It wasn't going to have Godzilla at all. So the fact that they were able to bring Godzilla in the way that they did in this movie and actually make them team up, I think was really, really well done. Now, the humans in this movie, I really, really love it that there is a reason for them to be there, because it services Kong. They're there to help him. They're there to, follow along with what he is doing. And it doesn't feel like their presence in the movie doesn't overstay its welcome. So many movies that the special effects are the stars of the movie, like Kong in this particular case, or Godzilla in any of the Godzilla movies. You're always there to see Godzilla and Kong, right? You look at the live-action Transformers movies. They're always focusing on the humans. They never really want to focus on the robots. They didn't even want to make the robots talk. And that's just a whole nother topic of discussion. But in this particular movie, because the monsters themselves are just kind of like having grunts, but what I really liked about it was that you'll notice when you're watching this movie is that like Kong actually has a lot of personality. Then there are other monsters that are down in, the Hollow Earth. There's a new villain. And if you've seen the toys, if you've seen the trailer, you know that there is a big like orangutan looking gorilla, and that is the Scar King. And there's another monster called Shimu. Not really much of a spoiler, but yeah, there are two other monsters that they introduce in this movie. And they have so much personality about them, even though they're completely odd-looking creatures. And how they were able to do it and make Kong interact with them. There's also other monsters in there as well. And I know it's like calling them monsters, but they're titans or kaiju, or whatever you want to call them. And, Godzilla is kind of like on the sidelines a lot for this movie. But the scenes that he's in, he has a point of being there. There is something I do want to make mention of. And this is, because I'm trying to make this video like not really be like spoilerific or anything like that. There's a moment with Godzilla where he literally feels like a cat. It's the best way I can describe Godzilla in this movie. He's a cat. And you'll understand when, having a cat doing a cat nap, or having a cat pounce because they're like not happy that something else is there. Like that's Godzilla in a nutshell in this movie. And then there was a moment when there's all the monsters are fighting with each other. It's just so cool. Godzilla pulls off some WWE stuff. There's some like a lot. You probably see if you've seen the trailers. It's just like so much stuff happening, being thrown at the screen that I found so much enjoyment out of this movie. It was a lot of fun. I definitely recommend going and seeing Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire. I have to stress again though, don't go in thinking that this is going to be a serious movie. Go in with the understanding that Godzilla X Kong is a backyard wrestling brawl with a budget. And you're going to get like Godzilla versus Megalon. You're going to get Godzilla Final Wars. You're going to get like Kong Skull Island, or just a bunch of monsters fighting each other. And if you look at it from that perspective, then the movie is well worth your time. Because of the spectacle, it's worth seeing in the theaters, because you can sit down and sit back and relax and enjoy the movie. There's no post-credit scene, so you don't have to worry about that. Just go off and see the movie, and if you got to go to the bathroom, obviously at the end of the credits, like, that's what I did, is I ran to the bathroom, because the movie did kind of start to feel its length towards the end, but it wrapped up in enough time that it didn't overstay its welcome, because the movie does go from point to point to point to point. It doesn't, I think the movie is a little bit longer than some other, movies that are out there, but it definitely, felt like a good length in that respect. So do I recommend it? Yes. It's fun. I want to know what you guys think. Have you seen Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire? Do you plan on seeing it? Are you a big Godzilla fan? Do you prefer the more serious stuff like -1? Or do you prefer the more fun stuff like the Monsterverse? Or do you like both? You like me? I like both. I love this stuff. In fact, I think I'm going to start bringing back the Godzilla, reviews. Maybe I'll do a trilogy of movies, in line to talk about, because when I was doing this before, I was trying to do it with the order in which I saw them, but I think I'm going to try and rearrange that a little bit. I'm just going to review them as I want to and then as I need to. But I want to know what you guys think, of course. Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. Be sure to thumbs up this video and subscribe. Check out my other videos as well. I have many more videos coming to this channel, as well as my main channel, where I talk lots of Transformers stuff outside of the nerdy sphere. Here in the with the other nerdy stuff, I'll be bringing to this channel as well. And yes, I'll make sure I get to a Thundercats 2011 and Thundercats 85 video in the future. So stay tuned for all of that. And as always, guys, until next time, till all are one.